Alright, Algebra 2, Lesson 1-2, Algebraic Expressions. Alright, here are the lesson's objectives. Alright, some key vocabulary for the lesson. The first one, evaluate. In the math book, if they ever tell you to evaluate, basically all you need to do is substitute in the given information that they give you and then work out the problem. Alright, and then just simplify the problem. Alright, so if they tell you to evaluate, it just means substitute in the information that they give you and then work out the problem. And then 2, like terms in math. Alright, like terms, alright, in math have the same variables and exponents. Alright, to add or subtract in math you need like terms. Okay, for example, you want to add x squared, alright, plus 3x squared. Alright, you can add these two because they're like terms, because they both have the same variables, same exponents. Alright, so this would give you, pretend there's a 1 here, alright, 4x squared. The same way if, let's say you wanted to add negative 6x minus 10x, right? You combine these, right, because they're like terms. They both have an x, and the exponent is an imaginary 1. So this will give you negative 16x. Okay. Now remember, to add or subtract in math, you always need like terms. Okay, you always need like terms. Let's say they ask you to add 4x plus 5x squared. You can't do this. These aren't like terms. You can't simplify this any further. Alright? Or if they want you to subtract, let's say 4 minus 8x, you can't subtract these because this one doesn't have an x. Okay? So remember, to add or subtract in math, you need to have like terms. Alright, so a couple of evaluating problems here. The first one says evaluate a minus 2b plus ab for a is equal to 3 and b is equal to negative 1. So they're always going to give you some sort of information, right, like this. Basically, just take these numbers and plug it in the problem. Alright, so a is 3, so we have 3 minus 2 times b is negative 1 plus a, which is 3 times b, which is negative 1. Alright, and then make sure you work this out using the order of operations. Remember PEMDAS? Right? Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Okay, so make sure you follow the order of operations. So we're going to multiply here, so negative 2 and negative 1, they'll end up with 3, right, plus 2, right, and then this will give you a negative 3. And then follow the order of operations, you get 5 minus 3, so your answer is 2. Okay, down here, evaluate. Right, I have x equals 4 and y is equal to negative 2. Alright, the key is to plug in the problems correctly. Alright, so we get 4 plus negative 2, right, divided by 4. Right, so follow the order of operations. Right, do we add first or do we divide? Well, the order of operations is we divide before we add or subtract. Right, so if you got to divide this right here, so negative 2 divided by 4, so we're going to get 4 plus, so negative 2 divided by 4, what's that going to give us? So let's take negative 2 divided by 4, that's going to give us what? Negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. Alright, so it was 4 plus negative 1/2, we get 3.5. Okay, over here, alright, so we're going to get 3 times 4 minus 4 times negative 2 plus 4 minus parentheses, right, negative 2. Now this is a common mistake I see a lot. Right here in the problem we have minus y, so the minus, this minus right here, right, this is part of the, this is in the problem, and then y, since y is negative 2, we have another minus, right, because y was negative 2, so we have double minuses here, which eventually is going to become positive. Right, so work everything out. So we're going to end up with 12, negative times negative gives you positive, positive 8, plus 4, and 2 negatives next to each other become positive, so we're going to get plus 2. Alright, so we're going to end up with 26. Okay, and you guys get the point. Right? So evaluate, x is equal to 3. Alright, so plug it in. So we have negative here, that's in the equation. And then x is 3 to the second power, right, minus 2 times 3 plus 1. Remember, follow the order of operations. Alright, so PEMDAS. Alright, parentheses, so you'll work out what's inside the parentheses first. So what's inside the parentheses? 3 plus 1, so that gives you 4. Right? Right, so over here, the next thing, the exponent. So this is not negative 3 to the second power. This is 3 to the second power, and then there's a negative on the outside. So 3 to the second power gives you 9, and then just add the negative from the outside. Okay, at the end. So down here, so basically our problem is negative 9 minus 2 times 4. So remember, we don't subtract first, we're going to follow the order of operations, and we multiply. Right? So we get negative 9, negative 2 times 4 gives you negative 8. Combine like terms, you get negative 17. Okay. Down here, C is negative 3, D is 5. Alright, so we're going to get negative 3 squared minus 5 squared. Negative 3 squared is 9, minus 5 squared is 25. So 9 minus 25, right? That's going to give you negative 16. Down here, we get negative 3, that's C, times 3 minus, right, D, which is 5, minus C, which is negative 3 squared. Right, you notice how I'm plugging in the numbers correctly? Right, so follow the order of operations. So we got negative 3, 3 minus 5 gives you negative 2, minus negative 3 squared gives you positive 9. Right, so multiply before you subtract. So this is going to give you 6 minus 9. So that's going to give you negative 3. Okay? And let me see. Over here, negative, we have negative, and then D is 5. 5 squared minus 4 times D is 5 minus 2 times negative 3. Right? So work inside here. So this is going to give you 5. Right? Negative 2 times negative 3 gives you positive 6. So that's going to give you 11. Right? Work this out. 5 squared gives you 25. Alright, and bring down the negative. Alright, then remember we're going to multiply before we subtract. Alright, so don't combine these and then multiply with 11. That's wrong. You're going to multiply these two, you get negative 44. Bring this down, negative 25. Now combine these. Alright, negative, negative. So you add the numbers, keep the same sign. We get negative 69. Alright.